Welcome to the Foil Life Podcast, where we talk about foiling and the lifestyles of those who enjoy these great sports.
It's just kind of like foggy. I don't know. We did a big rafting thing.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Dude, it was sick. I've never done the white salmon rafting trip here in Hood River. That lived here for 13 years and never done it. So it was fun.
A friend of mine is into whitewater stuff. That shit can get intense.
Yeah, it's kind of it's really interesting. The whole experience is really interesting. Like, to be with someone that does it as a guide is interesting to pick their brain about things. And just kind of have the whole experience is really cool to kind of step outside my lane. I love being bad at things. It's so fun to see improvement and just expose yourself to new things, learn new things, master new things. It's just so fun to be out of your element. Some people don't really like that. I don't love to be uncomfortable, but I kind of enjoy it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the next thing I think you get to improve your entire system when you're working on skills that you're not necessarily good at or you're brand new to. I think it kind of forces us to recalibrate and enjoy learning. How are you doing overall from your accident? Things are continuous to improve?
Yeah, so far we haven't had too many setbacks. So I spent the winter in Mexico, which was much needed. I think, I don't know when the last time we talked, kind of update thing, but so to kind of put it in context, so I'm not very circuitous, is I went through 6-7 months of mania, really intense, on crazy. I hate to say that I was a crazy person, but I exhibited a lot of interesting personality traits that were very unlike the person that I was. And then kind of following that, we had the birth of our son, which was really special. And then I kind of slipped into this mire of depression, ultimately ending up doing tons of therapy, and I'm still technically taking the antidepressants, and kind of went to Mexico with kind of the blues. Honestly, I was pretty bummed about going, and all this is kind of crazy. And so I'm working through that. That kind of has wrapped up a little bit, and I had some interesting learning experiences in Mexico this winter, in the water. And so far I've been doing actually reasonably well, considering the initial prognosis from the doctors. They're you're lucky if you're going to be able to do XYZ. And I feel like I'm able to achieve most of the things that I want to do with a reasonable outcome. I'm not having too many problems. I definitely am still having problems, but there's just kind of taking notice of how much they impact your life, and kind of working around that, and kind of restructuring yourself around your capabilities or your body battery, or kind of knowing. I think more than anything I learned is I learned more about what's going on with me and how that affects my everything, not just how tired I am. It's how cognitively functioning I am. Maybe I get really moody. It's just been an interesting lens to view life through. Lots of perspective.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I'm glad that you're progressing, able to get into some new sports though. And how's your para-winging journey going? Because we talked about that a little while ago.
Yeah, so basically, when I was in the hospital, I was convinced that we as in I was working for Nash, we needed to make a what Hawaii 5.0 had, the drag. I don't remember the exact name of it. Kite wing. I called it the drag bag, because basically it was an uncontrollable drag device that would get you up on foil and you could put it away. And then obviously that was evolving in the minds of Greg Drexler, right? So making the BRM one, that was arguably the first one to market, even though this guy Kite Star in Germany has been making land ones for, I don't even know, 10 years. You should check that out if you want to go down a wormhole. And so I was convinced that this was going to be the thing. And I was we have to get on this. And then Greg launched his. I saw them all come to Hood River. I was good luck with all this, guys. They were working, but they didn't know what conditions, what gear, what boards, when do you use it? What's it good for? And they were just experimenting, having a lot of time. We had people buy them, return them. They I don't know. It's like it's different whether you just want to go downwind on them or you want to like stay at a spot and go upwind and rage and like be like more like a kite foiler. So at first I was like, nope, not doing that. That's dumb. And then in Mexico this winter, I saw a bunch of people just like paying a freaking just like a local Mexican guy to just run their shuttle all day, and they just did pocket wing downwinders all day long, just like lap after lap
Oh
after lap.
shit.
There's one guy there that hitchhiked. He did like 8 to 10 Rasta to the bottom of the bay downwinders
No
in
way.
one day, just like a crazy parawing super guy. And
Oh
so
shit.
I was like, oh, I see how this is working now. These are people that I trust that are like shredding. And I'm like, okay, they're saying it's really fun. They're kind of still only doing it downwind only. I don't want to just like, I don't want to get into it to be a downwind only. It's like an add on for me that we can do runs with the suppers. I can get in the shuttle again, right? Like I kind of like couldn't do the sup thing. So I missed out on the getting in the shuttle. And so come spring, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to figure this out. I know it's going to be great. And I just started on the progression is kind of straightforward, but frustrating. The best thing that I can compare it to is, let's say you're a great black level skier at your mountain. You're like, yeah, my mountain, I got this. I'm insane on skis. Then you decide you're going to go snowboarding at your mountain. You still know how to operate in the space. You still know how to foil. You still know how to like do the stuff, but it's kind of hard to get yourself to your normal stuff. You're like, how do I water start it?
True.
How do I deal with it? What happens if it gets in a wad up bag? How do I stow it? How do I unpack it? There's like a bunch of stuff you have to kind of like tweak and retrain a little bit. So it's a little frustrating in the beginning. So I just started on a big board, big sup board, big foil, and then slowly stepped down to smaller equipment. I only had one parawing at the time, so it was like pick and choose the conditions. And I kind of only do that if I can now. Given we're in a
Mm-hmm.
very windy place, we have wind swell. If it's blowing 20, there's wind swell. And we have effective shuttles, like really quick, easy. It's not like you're in Maui right now, you know how it takes to do a Maliko run. You got to drive through Paia. Like that alone is a while. Like the laps here are quick. So it makes sense here. It's windy, there's swell, there's like upwind, downwind. It makes a lot of sense. I still wing a lot. I just seem to find myself winging when the conditions are slightly questionable, or I'm in a spot where I'm like, ooh, I really want to make sure I have power. I really want to make sure I don't have an issue, because the pair wing, I'm riding small enough board beneath me. I need it to be windy, to be honest with you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not a light wind thing for me, and no swell or no wind swell, not really a thing for me either. Just, I guess it's even smaller footprint than winging, right? You can like walk through a forest with it, and you're like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
going. So unique, but you really gotta be light or efficient, or ride a big foil, or ride a big board. I don't want to ride a big board. I want to ride a small board. So it's in the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing I'm always wanting to grab. And I got to be honest with you, the last week we had a lot of kind of more modest wind for the gorge, and I kept going for the freaking trash bag, and it sucked. It's like fishing. You're sitting out there waiting for a gust to come so you can stand up and like pump and get up. And once you're on foil, everything's fine, but don't fall. And if you miss the fish, you're bummed, and people are getting fish all around you, and the wingers are having a great time, and you're just out here with this big old bag, and you're like, why am I doing this? It's like the ratio of more time floating versus more time foiling. Sometimes you float like for as much as you're foiling. Maybe when I'm getting better at it, maybe I won't, but I think there's,
Yeah, that was my experience in Mexico. I needed the right amount of power with the right kind of foil and mainly the right power.
yep.
Like I was riding two really good North foils. I was either on the 830 surf or the 1230 surf. And I liked riding the 830 surf because when I was up, I could stay maneuverable and all that kind of thing. But I needed enough power to get going, and the wind range was pretty small yet. So what I'm curious about, have you seen any that the wind range and the deep power has improved slightly?
Oh,
Because you're more in the mecca of it
yeah.
there?
So I would say that right out of the gate, there's seems to be two paths that the designers are trying to solve. That it's either depower or power. Like we want to get you
Mm-hmm.
up so that you don't have to ride a super big foil. Maybe it just has a lot of low end power for your lake in Germany where you have a gust of 14 knots and you still want to use the bag. Why, I'm not really sure, but maybe you do. Versus people who want to have high end so that they can push their angle upwind, ride with a fair amount more power, therefore riding smaller equipment, and potentially go upwind, stow it, go downwind, upwind, downwind, versus just shuttle downwinds, right? Like it's kind of two things, and there are a couple clear winners in the upwind downwind. For sure, the range is improved in both the high end and the stability, which allows you to get them powered up enough to take them upwind and feel comfortable, and stable enough depower to deal with a big gust if it comes through and it's not turning into like a big like crumple. Coming from
Mm-hmm.
paragliding, paragliders are susceptible to collapses. So you can have asymmetrical collapses or frontal collapses where everything tucks. And it happens when you get light on the paraglider, like you're in lift and the paraglider's not really weighted in the strings, and the thing can start doing kind of weird stuff, right? And these
Oh.
structures, when you depower them, they also are getting a little softer, right? And they don't have the wind filling them up. And so they can be, certain models are susceptible to more of those like instabilities in either the wingtips or the center, and they're going to collapse and do weird things under high loading, essentially high wind riding, heavy riders, small foils, small boards. If you're a lighter person on a big sup board and a 1,000+ foil, I don't know that you're going to drive these things into those crazy situations. But if you're going out in 35 knots, like, yeah, for sure, they're
Yeah.
susceptible to a whole myriad of things that come from a non-inflated rigid structure.
Yeah, like I was riding Ensis Roger number one.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Ensis for sending that over for us. And what I found was that it had, which I think all of them, it's a relatively small wind range, but I could go upwind pretty good with it. But you had to be a moderate to decent foiler to be able to. You're in essence kite foiling with short lines and no depower. It could depower a smidge, but I was just curious to see if you had seen that improvement over those V2s, because they have a V2 now, but I haven't gotten to try it yet.
I mean, do you want
And
me? Do you
everybody's
want me to
just
give
pushing
like
them out.
a brand name? I can name the brands if you want to know which ones I'm really proud of. I just don't. If that's
Yeah, sure.
appropriate.
Let's give her. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost, the Ozone Pocket Rocket is insane for upwind. Like, it does lack a little low end power, like out of the pocket power, because it's a little higher aspect. But even if basically holding on to the A's, the leading edge is like really solid, not deforming. The wingtips are not tucking, so you can ride that thing in a fair amount of power, lean into it hard, and like drive it upwind. It goes upwind so fast. Like I can go as upwind as a wing, if not a little more. And you're right, it feels like kite flying with short lines. I will note
Are
also,
you hooking into a harness or are you just arming it?
dude, sometimes I arm it because I'm trying to get all swole, and other times I'm hooking in. But
Yeah.
I have switched I hook in, but I have a umbilical cord. I have
Okay.
like a hook. I have a
Fair.
hook on my harness instead of a thing on the bar.
Hook on your
Yeah, I have like
harness.
a string. I
Yeah.
have like a
Okay.
string that's like a foot long, maybe a little shorter, with a hook on the end of it. So I pull. I have to
Oh.
hold it, the wing, with one hand. That's the downside. You have to hold. You have to let go in one hand. You pull in. You just hook the hook to the bar. You can put it anywhere on the bar, and it sticks with your harness. And then there's nothing.
Oh,
Then there's
cool.
nothing in your hands. I just don't. Coming from having stuff on my bar all the time from kiteboarding, man, if I can clean that thing out and make it better, I would like to get rid of all the stuff. Like, there are brands that are making cradles now and like pulling the B lines or whatever off the bar, so the bar is really clean. I'm really a big fan of that. I want like a clean setup. I don't want a bunch of stuff in my
Hmm.
in my wheelhouse. Also, the FlySurfer Pow. Um, Crazy powerful on the low end. The guys here in town are like, dude, the 2.5, they're getting smoked on like big days because it's so powerful. I have the 1.7 for that I use and my wife uses a lot. She uses it in
That's
like
tiny.
20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe 22 to 32 or something. And for me, like I also ride the 1.7 when it's strong, like I would say like 28, 29. It's like just a really big pumping day out east or at the hatch where you're just like, yeah, I can ride the 3 pocket rocket that I have and depower it and the leading edge is fine, but like it starts to get tiring and I'd rather just ride the tiny thing. It's so fun to ride this. It's like a stunt kite.
I can
It's
imagine.
so crazy.
Yeah.
It's yeah, so that one has a lot of low end. However, the 1.7 has, in my opinion, like an infinite top end. I think I've taken on the water when it was gusting over 50 and I could like depower it and still deal with it.
Oh, whoa.
Granted, I'm riding a fast foil and I'm a heavy person, but also Sensi can ride it in pretty strong wind. We actually have ridden it in the same wind. Like she came in on it and I went right back out on it. So it has some, it's on the high end, it's beautiful. So those are the two that win in my mind. The BRM Kanaha is actually doing really well here in Hood River on the upwind, downwind, quick to stow, really straightforward. There's some other ones that are gaining a little bit of traction, but I got to be honest with you, the word is out. The pocket rocket just like rips up wind, and they're just popping up everywhere. I swear, every time I go to the hatchery, there's another pocket rocket. It's crazy. Like
People are enjoying just shuttling themselves up then and doing another downwinder in essence.
yeah, they're basically just riding like they were when they were winging. They're not all, there's
Yeah.
still a lot of people doing laps as well, but there's a large group of people that are just riding in one spot. There's a guy that launches from the beginner beach and he brings 3 pair of wings with him, 2 in a backpack and 1 that he uses, and he like rides the big one upwind to the hatchery and then gets a small one out and rides at the hatchery and then downwinds back home because he doesn't want to cross the bridge. It's like people are embracing it here because one, they like stuff, they embrace the sup stuff quick. There's great conditions for it, a
Yes.
lot. It's not like you're wasting the one day of wind a week learning this new thing. Like it's windy every day. You're like, I guess for this week I'll just try this bag, and if I hate it, I'll just get rid of it, whatever. And it
Mm-hmm.
offers unique sensations, right? Like, man, I did the sup foiling thing and then I had the accident. I couldn't do the sup foiling thing. I couldn't balance and like do it. And then I got equipment that I thought I could do it on. I started kind of getting it again and the pairwing came out and I was like, dude, I'm out of this sup program. Therefore, I was never in the shuttle crew. There's like a whole crew of people. It's like they all have great time together. I'm on the edge of that because I wasn't in the sup shuttle crew. And so now with the pairwing, I can get in that, but I can ride my 65-liter board and my 780 or 680 foil, and I put the
Yeah,
pairwing
there you go.
away for like 45 minutes at a time. It's pretty
Whoa,
insane. Yeah, we
seriously.
have some runs that are well over an hour, and you basically get up, stow, and maybe you get it out a couple times on the run. Or my friend Ewan, he didn't get it out at all last time. He just a whole hour with nothing. It's
Holy
it's
shit. And that's the thing that I was talking to the all my buddies that work at KT here, and um, because here you got a little bit more power and the swell and everything, that was the one thing that they were enjoying. And even if you're going to learn, A, there's a bunch of stuff. A, you can have a safety device with you if you're paddling in case your paddle
it's
snaps
so
or something
small.
happens. Then you got a
It's
pairwing.
so small.
B, it can help you learn is what they were saying. So it was like, before I want to get into paddling, he said just get used to the longer board or whatever with a pairwing, and then you can switch to a paddle or something. So there's all these variables. Like I know the main reason North, they said, Mike said he came out with it, was to have something if you're going to go out a little bit further with your wing, and something like a 2% chance something happens with your wing. Well, at least now I don't have to like prone paddle all the way in. I have this other thing as well. So, but 45 minutes on a small board and a small foil, that's pretty incredible.
I mean, so
It doesn't weigh a lot
the
either.
run we did is from Biggs Junction to Rufus Dock. It's takes literally 10 minutes to drive up the highway at 80 miles an hour, and then it's an hour run. 45 minutes if you're like really being fast, you know, you have a big spicy foil, you're like trying to set like, I don't know. I don't like to go straight very fast. I like to turn a lot. So I'm turning a lot. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know a snowboard run that's a 10-minute lift lap for an hour powder run. I don't know one that
that's
exists.
a thing.
So it's,
That's
yeah, we're
insane.
kind of like blowing up. I've been going with my friend and we're like screaming at each other on the water because we're having so much fun. I don't remember too many things where
Yeah.
I'm like hooting and hollering. Like a good powder run through the woods, you're screaming at your friends. You're freaking stoked. And this is kind of getting some of those same feelings. It's the novelty of it is so sublime that it's worth the effort if you have conditions that are good for it. I don't personally think it's an everywhere sport unless you want it. Like
Hmm.
In Lake Erie, are you going to be parawinging? You might be really into it, and there might be days where it's the best thing ever. You don't have to pump up. You can like pump the swell and all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know that everywhere this lower power device that can be tangled and like is, I don't know that it's going to catch on everywhere. But there are certain places like where I live, I don't see it ever leaving my setup because it's just too easy, it's too windy, and it's way too much fun.
Wait, I was talking to like Casey Hauser, and I think he had obviously a bunch of dry runs, but he would just stash it and have the entire Maliko just shredding and ripping and turning and stuff. And that is exactly what he said. I was able to go on a smaller board, a smaller foil, and get the same sensation of winging, but now with nothing because I was trying to get rid of the wing. So it's cool to see. And I was curious. I haven't been. I'll be in Hood in September, but I haven't been there since I put on 10 pounds last year eating at that burger joint that I mentioned to you. God
Ooh.
damn it, that place is good.
Ooh.
But anyways, I'm looking forward to trying that because there's like Duotone has one, North has one. There's a bunch of other brands that have them. So like I'm curious to see them at AWSI this
Yeah,
year.
so basically, like 3 months ago, I did a quick count on Kite Forum of like how many there were. There was like 22 already. That was 3 months ago. Uh,
Holy shit.
so there's going to be a lot of options here, and I think that is why you're seeing the word of mouth really mattering because like anyone can shoot a video of a really good foiler making their trash bag look great in XYZ conditions, but like when you're seeing people rip these things in real life and like understanding what's happening and you can get a vouch from someone that you're like, wow, you're just like kind of killing it. It's like, yeah, this one is good. I think that's how they're going to spread a little more, because right now there are some winners and there are some losers for sure, and if you get stuck as a shop, like stocking the loser, you're bummed. That's like just like we just waiting for people are just going to sit around and wait for closeouts or like wait for the cheap wing because they're not going to spend their money. They're like, $900 or whatever. Are you going to spend $900 on something that you
Hmm.
don't believe in, or are you going to wait till your friend tells you this is the one you want? Buy this one. So I think it with the fact that there's like 20 people making them or whatever, there's just going to be a lot of saturation, immediate saturation. It's crazy, very quick. And so that's going to make an interesting V2, V3. Like, what are do the bells and whistles game begin? Are we going to have D-Power? Are they going to be like, there's people on the internet making 4-to-1 reducers for their line stows. There's all kinds of weird stuff happening right now.
Hmm.
So, like, is it going to keep going down the wormhole or is it going to like solidify in? It'd be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years because think how shitty wings were 7 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's
You're
very
like,
true. Yeah,
these
they were
suck
terrible.
and now they're
Yeah.
so good, and like if this continues on the same trend, I imagine they'll just get better,
Yeah, very true actually. Very true. Have you
cheaper.
tried the K Wing from F1 yet?
The K Wing, no, I have not had a chance to try
No.
the Plume. I know about it, I've heard about
Oh,
it.
that's it. Yeah, the plume.
I've seen Chris McDonald flip it, but
Chris can flip
I've
anything.
yet to touch it. To me, that
Okay.
doesn't solve the problem that I'm looking to solve. That is replacing the inflatable structure with a maybe more free fly oriented version of that same structure, which, let's be honest, if you have a good wing, like F1 makes a thing called the swing, their original wing, it's phenomenal for free fly. It's light, it's effortless. Like, why not just use a swing? Why need the K wing? If you're gonna deal with the hassle of the trash bag, you you might as well deal with it. Other than that, you might as well get to the structure that we know works really well, which is a modern performance wing with modern materials. Maybe you have some Alula, maybe you have some Dyneema. I've been using a PPC wing made of Dyneema that thing's like a rocket ship. I'm like, okay, yeah, this works.
Ooh, which one?
The M1X.
Yes. Okay. I have the M1 Lite at home. They sent one over, and it was a great little wing.
Yeah.
Super good and high end for sure.
Yeah, it's really a rad product. So like why would I choose a K-wing plume kind of solution when what I want is the thing in my pocket? I don't want another version of the thing that I have to hold. It's already
very true.
It's already harder. Like the K-wing can't be that much easier. Essentially, is what I'm saying. To give me to have to hold the inflatable structure again. I want that thing in it.
How are you guys stashing or storing? Are you seeing some new? I know North came out with a cool little stash belt where it's a little bit more reformed, so it's not kind of digging into your body. What have you seen there?
So I think people are trying to solve the problem of how do I put this thing away and manage the lines. Whether that's a deep stow or you want to like stash it down for a second, pop it back open, what I dub throw and go. It's like the best thing ever. You like ride a wave, you throw it back out, it goes well, boom, and then you're off foiling again. Then you like cinch it down again, then you blow it. Like that's the best. So I feel like people are thinking of all types of line organizers, contraptions, sleeves. Like I feel like people are gonna expand on this because I ride a 3 a lot. My arm span is wide enough to easily stow the wing in one swoop. But I think if you're riding a 4 or bigger and you're a smaller person, that
good
pull
point.
is like you can't get all the way to the leading edge. So people are going to look to refine that short, either that or they're just going to like all custom shorten all their lines. Just like the future is going to be like, okay, we have a model that's powerful. It's got long lines. We have a model that's like for stowing, it's got short lines. I mean, BRM already has three models of their wings, so it's already the proliferation is already beginning, or the divergence of the designs. But I don't know. I don't see that much happening. I honestly, because I'm just a tinkerer, I made the bisector, so like a line doubler that stows it in like a foot instead of the whole like the lines. I used some line organizer stuff. I did a bunch of stuff like tinkering with my wing, and for me it was kind of more hassle, more stuff to tangle, more stuff like my span is wide enough. I'm not riding big wings. I can collapse it easily, and then
so it doesn't really matter.
Not for me personally. I mess up enough as it is. I'm like pulling the thing in, wrapping it up, stuffing it. Half time, when I finally get it in my fanny pack, I blow it and I fall, and then I have to get all the stuff back out and water start again. It's the worst. It's like the worst.
And then untangle
feeling.
It or whatever.
Oh my god, you got to play cat's cradle. You're down in the river, just going like
checking for boats.
I mean, people definitely have had to swim them in for sure. A friend of mine had to swim his in the other day. He couldn't figure it out. I think coming from kiteboarding, you have an advantage. I'm used to dealing with lines and line tangles and stuff. It makes a lot of sense for me. It feels a lot like kite foiling. I got to be honest with you. Like it's way less like winging than it's way more like kiteboarding and tow foiling. It's like kite foiling half the time, tow foiling the other half of the time. No winging, really. It's rad. Tow foiling is the best form of foiling, in my personal opinion. Winging is just a proxy to get to tow foiling, right? You get up, you flag out, but parrowing is a little bit closer to tow foiling. It's just a little bit more of a hassle, to be honest with you. But the thing it's more like tow foiling, right? Because it goes away. And that's worth little bit more hassle on the front end of getting up for me, because I like having nothing. It's really fun.
Yeah, but in the right amount of wind, you get up super quickly.
Correct.
I guess they and I'm curious, like you said, what it's going to be like in 5 or 6 years, because the wing evolution has definitely come a long way. Like I remember that first F1 swing, they had like a little tiny patch on the handles, and that's all that was holding on. And then eventually we were like, oh, all these other soft handles or these hard handles are going to blow off, and the evolution of it has come. And I guess I'll see in September what the newest stuff is coming out for 26, I guess it'll be.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to test out some of those toys then and see what's
And
going
it will
on.
also be interesting to see brands that already launched one, what the response of the market was and how they changed their design to respond. That'll be a very telling clue. You'll be like, oh, your first one looked like this. Your second one looks a lot like this now. Okay, I'm seeing you're prioritizing this over that. Same with foils, right? Like right now, F1 released the Momentum, right, which is the AR-17. It's a
Oh,
really
whoa.
high aspect foil. I think it's going after maybe the race market or something like that. It'll be interesting to see if that becomes adapted and like those start trickling into other people's stuff, or if the market eats that and says, nah, they don't order that many of them and those trickle out. It's interesting how the capitalist market drives our sport gear progression. Like
True.
now that it's really into jumping really high in kiteboarding, right? Like that's like a really popular side of kiteboarding. I mean, it's always been so fun in kiteboarding. Don't get me wrong, jumping is sweet, but it's really like popular right now, right? So you see the kites, they're getting stiffer, they're getting more bridle attachments, they're getting more responsive, they're getting like more straight rip you out of the sky. Like, so that's driving the type of gear that the average consumer is exposed to. Whether you think that's a progression of the gear or hindrance of the gear, right? I assume the gear can get so high performance that it's great in the hands of an expert, but the average person is like, hey, I don't really need all of this. Um, you see it with the safety systems, obviously, as kiteboarding's gotten safer. You see it with the foils going from what they look like the very first couple foils to what they look like now. They're also getting very close in form. You look at one F1 from a Levitas, from a Slingshot, from a that they all are starting
True.
to exhibit a similar form. And I think that's the pressure of the buyer. It's not just that it's the best way to ride the foil. It just might be that that is the best way to make a foil that's commercially viable and sellable. Therefore, that drives that selection. Um,
True, true. What do you think? Um, Obviously, downwind SUP paddling's taken a bit of a hit now because of this thing, because you can ride, like you were saying, smaller foil, smaller board. You don't need to go super long anymore.
I think if you want to sell your subboard, you should maybe sell it now.
Yes.
I feel, except for certain places, the allure of the put it in your pocket, the I don't have to learn to sup. Learning to sup is very, very challenging. You need to
Hmm.
either wait until someone tells you exactly what gear to buy, or put in a lot of time working on your technique, or be like, this board, this board, this board, this board, this foil, what works for me in my place. Like, and I see people do it. They buy this board, then the next board, then the foil, then the paddle, and they're like trying to get any advantage they can because it's really hard. And once they get it, obviously it seems like it's really easy. I went on a freaking downwinder with Casey and Keith, and when I was in Maui, and they pop up in like
Mm.
1 second, and they had a great time. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Once you get it, it's great. But that on ramp is really demoralizing for a winger looking for another sport. But
I
I
see what you're
feel
saying.
like
Yeah.
a winger being looking at what's happening with the pair wing, they're like, oh, it's basically winging, but we achieved that. We decided that's way more like kiteboarding, but they see they can see it easier and they see the progression quicker. Yeah, you're gonna struggle your first, let's say, first 10 sessions. You're having a shocker and you're just struggling and struggling and struggling. Dude, you might not even pop up on the foil in 10 sessions on the sup. So I
Hmm.
think the tunnel that you have to get in to get to that magical I'm flying with nothing, in my hands except a paddle, that happens, I think, quicker with the pair wing for someone who's
Oh,
already a wind sporter. And I
yeah.
don't think we're pulling people that aren't already wind sporters to do the pair wing. It's not like a surfer's like, I saw this guy and he was doing a pair wing and that's the one I'm going to do. I don't know how to foil. I don't know. Like you would have to learn some other wind sport to learn the foil, first of all, or
True.
or
True.
maybe behind a boat. I guess you could be a landlocked boat foiler, but I don't know why you would be exposed to the wind. You'd be looking for glassy days. So if we're just pulling people out of wind sports to either sup or to pairwing, I feel like we're going to pull more people into the pairwing. If they're going to be more comfortable, they're going to get quicker. Yeah, the one light at the end of the tunnel for supping, I think that's really endearing, and a lot of the pro surfers are doing it. The Florence brothers are doing it. Zeke Lau is
Mm.
doing it. I just see these things popping up a lot where on the island North Shore, like when there's no swell, they're having really good time on their foils out in the wind swell. And I think
Yeah,
that's
good
a
point.
wonderful thing that you can have in your back pocket if you're a surfer and all you need is a foil and a board. You don't want the the string and all the stuff. And you're not a wind sporter. You're a waterman. It's a different on ramp, and you're willing. If you got to the point where you're a proficient surfer, you know how it's taken some work to get, like you might be okay with the
Yeah.
with the foil. I just feel like in our world of wind sports gear, man, if you got $1,000 and you can buy something that makes it easier, probably just gonna buy that thing. It's gonna
Well,
make it
I was
easier.
pairing in my first time in the right wind in Mexico. Like I was lit and I was up right away. So and the progression was super
Yeah.
quick. Now, if obviously there's less low end like the wings used to have, right? So like obviously it's challenging if you're going out in sub-planing conditions. But if it was planing conditions within the right margins, it was so fun to go out and switch things up and kite foil and stow it for a bit and pump and relaunch. Like I had a blast. So, but I was curious to see how it was evolving in Hood and what little people were tinkering with. But it looks like you got some crews that are just doing traditional downwinders. Some are then just getting themselves upwind, playing with a bunch of different toys.
Yeah,
So
like I
yeah.
mean, it's all. We got people that go to the hatchery and stay upwind. We got people that are taking them to the learner beach and just putzing around in flat water. We got people that are
Mm.
just jumping in all the sup runs and doing that. We got people who are only pair winging and they still only shuttle because they don't want to go upwind. They just want to get up and just rip lap after lap after lap. So I think it's everyone's kind of getting what they want out of it. I just love that I don't have to do shuttles. After doing this river rafting thing today and driving shuttles all over the place, I'm like, man, it's so nice to be able to go to the hatchery, session one spot, get a lot of time on foil, and not really have to struggle to stay upwind anymore. They go upwind great. They're ripping upwind actually. It's not a
Nice.
problem.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, harness makes a big difference, especially. Um, all right, I'm curious when I try these in September to see what the new low end and what the new high end is and how the deep powers are coming along. Yeah, I'm curious to try.
it'll be an interesting set to watch what happens in the space. It'd be interesting to see if the racers want to do it, like the foil racers. The Deafy wing he blew everyone out on a pair wing. I mean, it was probably like more like a race kite, but like smoked everyone.
Padalamua too. They were really quick on. Let me just look that up here. Paddle Amua race results
Didn't
to see what the
didn't
fastest
didn't
pairwing
gnarly
was.
Marley didn't he like smoke everyone basically?
Yeah, he said he got tangled in the lines because I had lunch with him at the event, and he got tangled in the lines, or else he would have won. But let's see here what the pairwing subfoil. There were a lot of subfoilers that came out. I winged foiled and where's this pairwing? All right, it was 24 minutes actually. So it wasn't the fastest. Pairwing was 24 minutes for the fastest run.
What was
And
Kane's time?
so wingfoil was 18:34 the best time, and then Mr. Kane, who won it, was 24:26. So wingfoil is still the fastest
Interesting.
for
Yeah, you
this
can
race.
probably hold down the most power and just like point the thing and just like pull, 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 pull.
Well, they were on 6 meters, I think. I was riding a 3.5 wing.
That's what I'm saying.
And they were on
ride like
sixes.
massive stuff.
Yeah.
Were they on the ozone like double surface? Were they that race committed?
I didn't see what they were. I know a couple of people were riding Armstrongs, but I was one of the last ones to get out of the of the channel. So I think a lot of people went super far out in the ocean. So I ended up passing 30 people, but I was closer to shore, so I didn't see
Yeah.
anybody. But yeah, overall, I guess wing foil is still faster. But yeah, Marley, I think, was saying he was hitting close to 50 kilometers an hour, maybe almost hitting, like, his goal was 60.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
really fast.
pair
Yeah.
wing, and just flats, and it's like windsurf, like crazy windsurf.
And it's also
speeds on
straight.
flat
It's
water.
also straight
insane.
downwind, or like relatively
Yeah.
downwind. Broad reach would be even faster. Like the Defi is a
Yeah.
broad reach, right? Like it's across a course. It's not like a
Oh,
downwind reach. It's like a proper like lean in edge and go. And I think that
whoa,
I
shit.
think the Ram Airs have significant advantage. Like I said, on the river, I'm often not challenged as long as I have power. I'm not challenged to outstrip the wingers on upwind. You just lean in hard, and they're really efficient, actually. Surprisingly.
Shit, man. Well, hey, buddy, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. And
Easy.
you're going to be around in September?
Yeah. So for AWSI, I'm for sure 100% here. We'll be hanging out,
Sick.
trying to catch a bunch of salmon, and hopefully get a bunch of sessions with all my friends. Trash bag.
Nice.
I'm sure everyone's going to want a trash bag. Like people are coming here just to do it. It's like a thing. I mean, like I said, 10-minute car ride for an hour plus of like powder run-esque style riding. You would drive like to the Rockies for that. Like if you knew there's a new resort in the Rockies that the lift's 10 minutes and an hour powder run, you'd be like, yeah, we'll drive there. So people are coming here specifically to get the conditions. You can see what they are if you watch like Jack Ho's latest video he put on YouTube. He was just here for the week, and they scored a wonderful day out at Rufus. It's like phenomenal. It's freaking crazy. We're in a river. It's like it's a thing. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Well, hey, man, it was nice to see you. Glad you're doing well. How's the baby doing?
Dude, he's
before we go,
killing it. Yeah, he's like the happiest little guy. He'll be a year old in like 12 days, and he's like killing it. He sleeps well. He eats about any food. He is a huge flirt with all the people. Like he's so happy and just like, yeah, it's just a little bundle of joy. It's so fun. A little less time on the water, but that's okay. Honestly,
yeah, that's all
pay
right.
dividends when he can get on the water. And since he's been really rad, we go to the hatchery almost every day, and we just trade on and off with him, and we have a great time. And we've been pairwinging a bunch. And since he did her first silo lap, like she stashed the thing for 25 minutes, and like when she got to the bottom, she was kind of like melted because it was so like I was like, what did she tell me? She was like, I was like freaking Kelly Slater out there. I was like, shoot. It's
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So it's just been such a joy and challenging, but it's beautiful. It's super wonderful.
Sweet, man. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And what is that burger place called? Twin Peaks.
Dude, Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks Drive-In.
Dude.
All right.
There's another one in town too called I think it's Big Jim's. It just opened like 4 months ago or something. They are insane milkshakes and good waffle fries, and yeah, they're also pretty good.
Big Jim's Drive-In.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, folks.
You heard it.
Catch you in the next one.
You heard it first. Burger review. Burger reviews coming next. This is going to be a burger podcast.
Goddamn right, man. Oh man, they were so good. I think I had a Twin Peaks burger like 5 nights in a row and a chocolate shake, and I would watch the airplanes take off and land because there's a little airport right there.
It's like such a nice spot. I ride my bike by that spot a lot. It's in my fitness loop. So on like a no wind day to keep my legs in shape, I do a big fitness loop, and that's included on the route.
Sick.
Yeah. Well, have a wonderful evening.
Buddy, we're gonna catch up with you soon.
Okay.
Thanks, man.